Friday night, making a seared, thank God for the mother fish, swordfish. Yeah, I know it's an apex predator, I could care less. Mercury never affected me negatively. Stop already with everything you read. I told you intermittent fasting was stupid. Okay, I wrote the books on this in the 70s. You think you can reinvent everything? Like your sexuality, your politics? There's certain things that people know. 3 squares a day makes sense. People that fast for 8, eat for 8, and fast for 16, they wind up dropping dead of cancer and heart attacks. I told you that. Do what you want. I'll do what I want. So I'm making, the news is so horrible of another ISIS attack, this time in Moscow, killing poor Russians, shooting them, burning down a concert hall, these throwback bastards. Unless you deport them from the Western nations, you will have the same thing in your backyard, you idiots, you. Look at Sweden, the #1 bombing capital of the world, because of the psycho lesbians who took over Sweden. Yeah, I'll say it again. The psycho lesbians who hated the white male. They imported the Muslims. Now they're the bombing capital of the world, Sweden. Used to be a great nation. Look what they did to Sweden. Look what they're doing to America. Look what Biden's doing to this country on purpose. You'd think that they would understand at a certain point they made a mistake. I mean, Sweden. Oh, hello. This is Michael Savage doing your cooking show. And I don't know. There's no title to this. I'm just cooking on a rainy Friday night, trying to bury my feelings about the world in a piece of swordfish. What do I have here? I have a nice portobello mushroom, organically grown, no chemicals. I have some I boiled the purple potatoes with some eggplant, a little bit of red bell pepper in it, and that's it. It's going to be a very simple dinner, a little white wine left over from last night. A salute, God bless America, whatever's left of it. Biden has destroyed the country in a way that only a foreign invader could have done. But go ahead, vote for him again. Shrink your mental hemorrhoids, vote for him again. Liberalism is a true mental disorder. It's actually incurable. It can only be cured with shock therapy and institutionalization. Look what they're doing to Trump. This is out of the Soviet Union. Show me the man and I'll show you the crime. Seize his property, seize his bank accounts. He didn't actually commit the crime that the gangster black woman, Letitia James, has accused him of. She's the criminal. She belongs in prison. Show me the man and I'll show you the crime. Letitia Berrier, Stalin's killer. This is the country you wanted? Okay, take me out to the ball game, take me out to the crowd. And you look at Russia, look what the Muslims just did in Russia. Now, of course, you have the idiots saying Putin did it himself. You know, you get stupidity. You get stupidity like that. Then, of course, you have Hannity and the other controlled opposition. Levin, Hannity, Bongino, all controlled opposition. In my humble opinion, they hate me for it. How do you think they survive in the media? They have no talent. They're talentless. So how did they survive all these years? Okay. ABC plus CBS plus NBC plus Cumulus plus FOX plus CIA equals unreality. How's my fish doing? That's a beautiful piece of swordfish. God bless the sea. God bless the sea. That fish is done. I don't use salt. I have hypertension. I haven't used salt in 40 years. I've had a good run. Never cooked with salt, never needed it. It's in everything else anyway. Don't think I don't like an occasional piece of cheese. I do. I love it. My favorite is this incredible Pecorino Romano, which is goat cheese. This is the most delicious cheese on earth for pasta. Unbelievable, but very salty. So I'm managing, all sorts of things. My food is done. My potatoes, my eggplant, my portobello, and my godfather fish here. The mother of all fish. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to cover the pan. I love having covers that fit. You got to have covers that fit. Cover the pan, perfect fit. Turn the heat off. Let it rest. Beautiful dish. And I'll conclude by telling you that the world has never been in a more horrible place than it is right now in my lifetime under Biden. How the man can even run for office is incomprehensible to me. How he just doesn't get up and resign. Other sane leaders have resigned when they've ruined the country or ruined the world, and he can't win again. I've never seen anything like it. In a sane nation, he would have stepped down for the sake of the nation, for the sake of his party. But no, he won't. Power corrupts, absolute power corrupts, absolutely, said Lord Acton, not Lord Savage. So I'm going to sign off right now on this rainy Friday night. It's a sad state of events in the world. I wish I could give you something positive. As I've said to you before on one of my God talks, the world is in a constant battle between light and darkness, between Licht und Finster. Licht in Yiddish means light. Finster means darkness. Like if you want to curse someone, you say, a finster year, a black year upon you. No, it's no curse I heard as a child. We're fighting between light and darkness. Biden is all darkness. Everyone around him is darkness, evil, pure darkness. We have a fundamental dictatorship in the United States of America, so far as I can tell. Dictatorship under Biden. How can the man even run? Were it not for Anderson Cooper and Wolf Blitzer and the other deer on the sled of the Democrat Party, could this man even be running again when he can hardly walk? Now, on the other hand, we have Trump. Don't get me started, because if you think I'm a slavish Mar-a-Lago character, you're wrong. No, Trump is not the savior of the Western world. What they have done to him is 100% criminal and Soviet. But he brought a little bit upon himself by taking on the world and taking on the establishment. I know you don't want to hear it. I know I'll never be welcome again aboard the Mar-a-Lago jet. But let me tell you something. The truth is the truth. I call him as I see him. He could have backed down a little while ago. He could have stopped with the fundraising. He could have stopped with cursing everyone on the planet. He could have stopped taking on the establishment. Remember, when you were a kid, you heard the longest word in the English dictionary was anti-disestablishmentarianism. That's what I heard in high school. That's before the morons took over high schools and put in DEI. The longest word in the English language that I remember in high school was anti-disestablishmentarianism. Okay? Anti-disestablishmentarianism. Remember that from high school? You probably didn't learn it. You probably learned Jenny has 3 mommies and 5 vulvas. Or Billy has 5 vulvas, I'm sorry, to get guttural. Okay, manja. He took on the establishment. Remember what Chuck Schumer, the evil Judenrat, said. Now, don't think that's a dirty word. Judenrat means Jewish council. In Nazi Germany, there were Jewish council members like Schumer who rounded up the Jews, picked the ones out for the death camps and such. That's Schumer, who actually in a time of Israel's survival or fighting for its survival, he attacks Israel, not ISIS. In a time of Israel fighting for its survival, instead of calling for new elections in corrupt nations like Ukraine, he calls for new elections in Israel. Schumer, the Judenrat. Judenrat, it means Jewish council. Even though the word rat in English is in there, it has no meaning in the word Judenrat. In German, the rat doesn't mean rat. In English, rat means rat. So Judenrat has a meaning, means Jewish council. Chuck Schumer, in a time of Israel's existential survival, trying to fight for its survival, calls for Netanyahu to be overthrown, like they did in Ukraine, like they tried to do in Egypt. They're trying to do now in Israel. This is called an empire, as Pat Buchanan wrote years ago. A republic, not an empire. Under Biden, it's now an empire, not a republic. I think I've said enough. I'm glad I'm no longer an establishment threat. I'm too small to be a threat to them. I'm just a retired talk show host trying to make a living with the truth. It's not the living, it's the mental living. You know what I'm saying? Remember where the character comes back? I'm just a retired talk show host trying to survive by keeping my mind alive with reality and the truth, because the day I can't speak the truth, I will die. To me, the truth and life itself is like breathing. And the day I cannot say it like it is, from my point of view, not yours, the day I can't say it like it is, I'll die. So as long as I see what's going on, and I can say to you what I see is going on, it's worth living. It's worth living. This is what it is all about. Light and darkness, Licht und Finster. Every religion, every race, every culture teaches light and darkness. We must always reach for the light. And to me, the light is trying to tell the truth, the whole truth and nothing but the truth. So help me God. And on that note, I will conclude by saying God bless America, or may God bless America, but I actually think God left the theater. I think he got so fed up with what went on in this country and on the planet he created, with especially the species he permitted to emerge, called humankind, that he left the theater. So I will eat other species, like swordfish, who are better than most people I've met. This potato is more honest than Joe Biden. This portobello mushroom has more dignity than Charles Schumer. And on that pleasant note, I will say to you, what shall I say to you? How shall I close? What's the clever remark to make? Know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. Now, what did that mean? It didn't mean you'd necessarily be free. You could wind up in prison by telling the truth. But your mind would be free. Your heart will be free. Your soul will be free. What's that worth? Go listen to some jazz. I'm Michael Savage. With God's will and your listenership, you'll listen to the podcast, which is astounding this week. Okay, the things have really cooked properly. They've cooled off a little. I'll eat this fish over 3 days. It's too much food. That's a $15 piece of fish. Would you believe it? Purple potato, incredible. Rainy night with you on the Michael Savage Cooking Show on the Michael. By the way, I renamed the podcast. It went back to the Savage Nation podcast this week. Thank you. It was the Michael Savage podcast for a few years. I thought it would be gentler and milder and more appealing to advertisers. Then I decided, at this stage of my life, let's go back to what we are. With the Savage Nation, we created the conservative movement. Not me alone, there were many others. But let's say this generation, let's say Donald Trump, who was a liberal in New York many years ago. Oh, yeah. Don't confuse yourself. He was a liberal, then he saw which way the wind blew, and he moved in the direction that maybe he already was. Who knows? Probably believes it. Who knows what he believes? All I know is this. God is great. America is great. And may God save us from the Muslim invaders. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Now we stop. We hit stop. We hit go. We hit stop. We hit go. It's not that I don't know how to work the camera. It's difficult sometimes to hit the stop part. I'm live, and I got to eat my food, but I don't know where the stop button is. Honest God. If you like it, hit the like. We broke 50,000 on YouTube last week, which is just great, which is wonderful. You say, oh, that's not as big as this one or that one. If Jesus came back, he'd have less followers than some of the liars in the media. He'd also be crucified by Letitia James. They would sue him for the cross. If Jesus came back, Letitia James would sue him for the cross. Okay, I'm trying to hit stop. Honest to God, I can't find it on the phone. There it is. Okay, we got it. Folks, thank you very much for your patronage for all these wonderful years. Mi casa y su casa.